How's it going, everybody? We had the strike spot happen earlier today. Now, there is a live reaction in the form of just a VOD on the YouTube channel if you guys want to check that out. But I thought that a more in-depth, a little bit more measured approach to a video kind of highlighting the big moments of the strike spot, because we did learn a lot of things. Now, the thing that most people were interested in, which caught me off guard, was actually the spec ops. So if I go on over here, we're going to let Path kind of read through the spec ops. I'm going to give you my take on it, and
spec ops,
we'll go from there.
Okay, we'll give it like 2 seconds, but
I think we already got a good amount of people here. We got spec ops to start, so we can show.
Before they get into it, I do want to comment, right? We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 spec ops. We have 8 different tiers here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8.
A bunch of different things here. So you can see here there are 200 and...
Also, if you want to do the math, there's 240 here. There's 24 people in Alliance. Each person can put in 10. If you are to max out spec ops, every single person would need to fill in 10 characters worth between these 8 sections.
40 spots available. And you will have, of course, if you have a full Alliance of 24, you can do 10 donations, if you will, to spec ops or sending your characters on the mission. So we'll just go through some of these here.
Boom!
As you can see,
right there.
We have...
Boom! Right there. Zombie Scarlet Witch, right? So we see Zombie Scarlet Witch is required, and she's going to be needed at 3 yellow stars. So people saying skip Zombie Scarlet Witch, I'm not sure that's going to be super advisable. If you have her at a small level, you may not use her, but this could just be basically a free spec op for 5 of your people to throw it in. Mind you, 3 yellow stars, how obtainable is that free to play? Probably a little doubtful. So I mean, maybe just take that with a grain of salt.
Have new character Scarlet Witch Zombie. We have Gladiator, Guardian, Sunfire, Silver Surfer, Wolverine.
Another thing I want to bring up, this is way different than our playtest. These are usable characters from real teams, right? The Zombie Scarlet Witch is a new character. These are Annihilators. This is your Alpha Flight. This is not the kind of characters that I recall seeing on the playtest. So interesting that these characters actually matter now. This is a double-edged sword, because we're going to want to use these characters on the nodes. Presumably, that's why they're here. But also, these are characters that you're more likely to have built up, or at least have at 3 yellow stars for this particular spec op. So that's a good thing.
That's on one of the missions here. We'll work our way backwards here. We got Blade, Omega Centaur.
Okay, this is a tough one. This is gear tier 19 for this one. So there's going to be various different spec op requirements. I believe there's a data mine going through all that. I haven't seen it myself. But also, I believe at some point the envoys might be given this sort of information to share. We'll see. I think the envoys are a little bit on timeout, but that's just me.
Sentinel, Peter B. Parker, Cosmic Ghost Rider, Red Goblin, Vulture. Who else do we have in here? Apocalypse, Oath.
Gear tier 17 for this one, so that's a little bit less intrusive, though there is a more useless character, Quicksilver, right? If you didn't build him up in his heyday, why would you build him up now?
Venom, Spider Slayer, Quicksilver. So many different options. You will have to definitely work with your alliance to figure out who's going to send what character where. We could choose... Why don't we just choose some random ones here? What do you think, Strike Fox?
That one was gear tier 50. Now he's going to go in and he's actually going to choose a bunch of random characters at this point. I don't think it's super necessary for us to watch this whole thing. We see 7 yellow stars for characters like Juggernaut, Skrull, and Thanos Endgame, who we'll be talking about when we go to the store rewards. A little spoiler alert. But yeah, he's going to fill this out, and then he's going to do some gameplay. Venom is here, which at first glance, you're like, who cares about Venom? But we're going to see on one of the nodes why that might actually be kind of important. But that's kind of it for Spec Ops. Like, this is what you do, right? You come in here. If you have 24 people, you could fill it out. If not, you probably want to... We'll see how this square goes, because it was kind of unclear what would happen. So when he put his 10 characters in, nothing happened, right? Did he actually put some in? Well, he only ended up doing 3. Okay, he's gonna add a couple more. Let's see what happens when he adds a couple more and hits confirm. Spec Ops 10 out of 10. So he's hit confirm. You see, nothing happened whatsoever. Now, I'm unsure if that's because you need to fill in an entire row. Like, say, if everybody fills in Scarlet Witch, do we get some points for that? Or do you need to fill in all 30 slots to get points, and you only get points in chunks? Like, that is something that is unclear from this. That I think Pathfinder said they're going to have to ask for the answers to that question. I'll try and get that answer too. But what I'm taking this to mean is that When you get the first 30, that's going to give you 720. You get another 30, it's only going to give you 960. The next one after that is 2100. And the plus here, I'm unsure if this is additive or cumulative. Like, I'm not sure if this is 720 and then this is, 1680, or if this is just 960 total. That's something that was left unclear here. I know a lot of people are interested in Spec Ops because it's kind of just free points. To me, I'm much less interested in Spec Ops and more interested in how does Spec Ops mess with the gameplay, and for that, we need to actually see the gameplay. So let's actually go see some gameplay, which is going to be an exciting thing because it's going to be our first look at the Astral team. So let's go ahead and check that out.
How long is the stream? Hour and a half or Pegasus on this mission, since we have the choice. And we could show both.
So he's going to go in with Astral. So here we go, our first look at them in the gameplay.
Okay, how about we'll also show Pegasus after this?
I want you guys to remember something really important here, okay? These characters, they're all 7 red stars, crimson gear with purple ISO 3. It's important to note that when we're talking about how good they're doing. Also, the gameplay we're about to witness is going to be difficulty 5. The Envoys didn't get to play difficulty 5. We only got to play difficulty 4, and it was a snooze fest. So I was super intrigued to see if this was going to be more exciting. But a big thing here, Diamond's not in play, particularly on characters like Moondragon and on Doctor Strange when we talk about the Astral team. So we want to keep that in mind when we watch this gameplay.
And
Nails.
you're just joining us. We are playing on difficulty.
Wait, we missed something there.
All right, here. Let's look at the animations here. The ultimate is
So one thing I want you guys to keep in your brain in the back there. The Astral team here took a couple hits, right? They're pretty slow. They took a couple hits leading into this, and look at their life. I'm just gonna mute this. Doctor Strange took 0 damage from that. They're getting hit by everybody. The barrier is not budging. So there was a little oopsie that happened, and we did have. Oh, there's no game sounds at me. We did have a video went out that showed Astral. There was a little bit of a bad vibe to that video. Not a bad vibe. An unimpressed take on the team. The team is so amazing from what we see in Battleworld right now with the amount of damage it's doing, the control it has, the sustain it has. This could just be a function of awakened abilities. The difference between having awakened abilities and not in war could be the difference between an S tier team and a B tier team. Hopefully we'll be able to share that kind of content, that gameplay video with you guys soon. But let's check back in here because this damage is crazy. I want to see what Doctor Strange is going to do here.
let's look at Emma Frost animation here. She goes into diamond form. Love that. Missed the opportunity to have the Ancient One moonwalk. That is such a good point.
Doctor Strange special. They all have dodge. Wow. Hold on, because the people that didn't have dodge, even the ones that did, look at the amount of damage that Doctor Strange did. Because this is the thing for free-to-play players. On the highest difficulty, will you be able to even touch this node? Well, if you have a Crimson-geared Doctor Strange, or Crimson-geared Moondragon, but you add diamonds onto it, that's crazy, right? That may be able to carry a smaller Emma Frost, carry a smaller Ancient One. So this is really encouraging for pushing higher difficulties with having free-to-play teams. Or even just putting those two in with some Pegasus members. We'll have to wait and see, but this is encouraging for sure.
Maybe
Oh, no.
maybe for April Fools, who knows?
All characters moonwalking would be cool for April Fools. Maybe we need to report that one.
I'm sorry, I saw something kind of funny. That was hilarious, the way Gwen just kind of turned around with like mooned and walked away. She's just like, nah, no, watch. That was a really cool animation from Shadow King there. That was dope. Yeah, I like the way his guy comes in and out. I can see timeout issues being a real problem with that though. Same way May Parker just kind of pops all around the screen, right? But I'm unsurprised that Astral's just kicking ass. We're not really seeing kits. We're not really seeing any sort of mega strategy being employed by Pathfinder here. Not because he doesn't know how to do it, but because the node is built for this team to succeed, which is why we should probably look at the Pegasus team, right? Because Astral bleeding this node, Astral bleeding all the nodes they're going to be used for, that's not unexpected whatsoever. What would be unexpected is, can Pegasus hang, right? So Pegasus on difficulty 4 whacks these nodes. I was curious to watch Pathfinder play this one out. Now Pathfinder, he's streaming right now. When you're streaming, you're kind of showcasing stuff instead of trying to play your heart out. It's different, right? So I noticed Pathfinder, he didn't really utilize the basics from Pegasus as much as I would have to make sure that rescue can keep rezzing people. But at the end of the day, watch his Agent Venom damage onto that rescue. That's the same size rescue as the Astral characters were. 7 red, Crimson geared, nearly got one shot. That Agent Venom did not hurt Doctor Strange. So the team just wasn't made for it. So it's unsurprising to me that the Pegasus team can get through some of the nodes because they have their raid buffs. They had so much speed bar on spawn. At least I think they do. We'll see different bonuses a little bit later. Iron Man Infinity War puts in good work. Kestrel pings are doing the job. And Pathfinder is actually able to get pretty far even without playing super duper studiously. I would also say that maybe that wouldn't matter. Because maybe if Rescue can just get one shot like that, that'd be a wrap anyway, right? But with his Pegasus team, I believe this is kind of where he gets lopped off. Wave 3, or maybe he makes it to Wave 4. So Wave 4, and this is where he dies. See, his rescue's gone, so that's just it for him. This is actually pretty encouraging because this is the highest difficulty. Yes, this is Crimson geared Pegasus members, which not a lot of people are going to have, and not a lot of people want to do that. And I don't think that would be worth it, because I don't think you're going to beat the node anyway. But it makes it to wave 4 out of 6. It clears 4 out of the 6 waves. That's nice, especially because you're going to have a bigger Kestrel. You probably have Kestrel gear to 19 for Dark Dimension 7. You probably got diamonds on her from when it was super useful. You might have pulled diamonds for some of these other characters too, just by RNG, right? So your Pegasus team might be bigger than this one. Maybe we can squeak out an extra wave. So we're not full clearing, but we're able to do a lot of work. And maybe if we sub out... Who's the least useful character? Not really any of them, right? Pegasus, when they have their raid buffs, are all kind of useful. But maybe then, once we get the free-to-play Astral, we'll be able to get in there, and it's just going to be like raids. It is kind of Raids 2.0, unfortunately. It is what it is, I suppose. I'll talk about the vibes I got from this at the end. The Pegasus team is just to stand until you get Astral, and then a free-to-play Astral, but built up with other resources besides stars, looks like they're just going to walk over it because of the rework characters. It's the same thing that raids do, but it's a more restrictive tag. It is, right? Because instead of being Mythic, where all of a sudden Mephisto and Odin step in there, it's Astral or Pegasus, so it kind of takes out those kind of characters. It is what it is, I suppose. But that was the Pegasus. Then we did the bonus mission. That was at 2725. This was pretty cool. I didn't even know this one existed. So this is about. Let me let Path kind of walk us through this.
All right, let's take a look at what we have here. So obviously we have all the Asgardians again.
One thing I don't know if he showed, but it was brought up in stream. You see right here, we can see the bonuses. So it's bonus mission requires Asgardian. The bonus is for Odin. Now the difference between having Odin and not having Odin here, well, he'll show us.
We'll try this. I don't think this is going to be the exact best for this mission, especially on difficulty 5, but we'll see. What will be in the Battle World store? We will also get to that.
We will get there too.
Don't worry. Don't you worry. We got a big one today. All right, MLF going first.
So look, all that nasty debuffs from Morgan Le Fay. Greg is dying, which is nice.
It's not gonna be easy.
Shumnato Gaming, is this stream going to be made into a VOD for deeper analysis for Battle World captains? I know that we didn't have a VOD for our last stream, but do you think that we're going to be able to have a VOD for this, Pathfinder?
We will definitely, we'll talk about that.
It is a VOD. There's a VOD on Twitch about this now. You can go ahead and check it out on their channel.
We'll definitely do our best to
and if we aren't able to do it this time, then so hopefully, but if for any reason we're not able to, then we'll do our best to get VODs up and running for future streams.
Okay, wait, I missed it. Vol died. This is over, right? This is over. So he doesn't even hit past wave 1 without Odin. Subs Odin in. I don't know if he showed the room rules before going in here. That'd be this button right there. So the bonus for Odin, it's have Odin or don't do this node. Because look, we come in here, and look, Odin brings Safeguard to his team. Odin on spawn is giving them Safeguard. Somehow, some way, he's going faster. I don't know if he's canceling out speed bar that Morgan Le Fay gets or whatever the case may be. But he sets it up so you can actually do something. However, let's watch. We're gonna kind of, we'll speed this up and I'll kind of talk while Pathfinder plays here while he focuses on playing. So you can see the Asgardian members. They're not really contributing much damage here. Vol does have that exposed, so if she's able to proc that off enough, her getting her ult and kind of keeping her team alive and doing that sort of thing would be amazing. We already have the one exposed. That's great. She's leaning into it. Turn meter rewind. I think I would have saved that for the next wave, but that's fine. Once again, Pathfinder, he's showcasing a mode. He's not trying to excel in it, right? All right, we got 4 Juggernauts and a Black Cat. He does the special there. Ability blocking all the Juggernauts, but the Black Cat has the Safeguard. I don't hate that. Another turn meter rewind. Where's all this energy coming from? How did Sylvie... Is Exposed giving them energy again? This is the playtest build. It could be broken too. That I don't know. He vaults the one character. Okay, Path is trolling us at this point. We have some Annihilator people here. He's actually going to get stuck on this Gladiator for like a good minute, but keep your eye up here. It gave him 30 minutes to do this node. I asked him in the chat. He's not sure if this is intended or not. I think this is probably just for playtest needs. Maybe they're still working out the kinks on this node. This probably drops down to 6 minutes, which is what all the other ones were. But yes, so this Annihilators does what it's supposed to do. It annihilates the Bifrost team. So what I would have liked to, I would have liked to have my Vol ult ready here. I would have liked to have Odin ult ready so you can get some like super one-shot action in. But just the speed bar of this team is too much. And Vol gets her buff stolen. And the second that this Thanos gets pushed, it's just over, right? And then Surfer with offense up clears the board. I'm not sure. He didn't bring Vol. Vol. He brought Vol. He didn't bring Hela. I think I would have liked Hela on this node. That Greg turn meter rewind would actually play into a big effect. But he ends up getting stuck on this Gladiator for like 3 minutes. And then he breaks through it. And after that, he's faced with a Nova and 4 Undying people, 2 zombies, 2 Juggernauts. After this wave, instead of Nova, it's Goblin. And then after Goblin, it's going to be this Mephisto wave. And he's not going to make any room here. So he doesn't actually clear the node even with having Odin. There's going to be a better Asgardian team. Maybe a new Asgardian character can get released to kind of help Odin out here. But I also think there's going to be lots of cooldown manipulation stuff we're going to do here. So that when we walk into this particular wave, Odin probably has enough speed bar. And he's already got his ult ready that he's going to immediately ult. And he'll wipe the floor but everybody but Odin. And you go from there. That's kind of how I see it happening. But that was the bonus mission. I thought that was pretty interesting. Unfortunately, we didn't get to see any other missions after that. I would have greatly preferred to see the missions. Oh, we got to talk about this. This bonus mission, clearing 5 of 6, it might just be intended you don't clear it. Because 11,000 points from an individual. Here, let's go back here. I just want to find where he's showing the screen. Here. 11,000 points from one individual out of the 60,000 that is needed to unlock Zone 6 is crazy. I mean, the city support one is another 14,000, but total of 25,000. So one person, it looks like one person can almost contribute enough to move on to the next zone. Not sure if that's just the play test so that one person can go in for their reasons for testing and go from zone to zone. But I thought that was interesting. Another thing I thought was super interesting was this right here. So they shared this with us. And this is the zones plus nodes plus who's going to be getting bonuses. What kind of bonus? So I really wanted to see, we were on day 5, city support, the bonus for Hive Mind. Void Knight is a support, by the way. So he would be in this, right? The bonus for the Hive Mind in the city support section was that they get 200% damage when they're above a certain life, I think, and their raid bonuses were in play. That simply says you have to use Hive Mind there, right? Because, like, what other team could measure up to 200% damage and having, like, speed up on spawn, all that kind of stuff? We didn't go through all the Spec Ops. I imagine there's probably probably one of the nodes wants you to get rid of your Carnage. The only one we saw was Venom. Getting rid of Venom is like, okay, get rid of Venom. I'll still have everybody but Venom. We do that in raids anyway, right? We'll just bring in Robbie. So the nodes seem so prescriptive to certain teams. If those type of bonuses are going to be the norm, right? So let's look up at Zone 1, Mission 1. City, Superior 6 get a bonus. Is this like Crucible rules are in effect? Is that what it is? Because if that means that's just a Superior 6 node then, right? Is this raid rules are in effect for Spider Society? Is this arena rules are in effect for Annihilators? Right? If that's the case, there's no theory crafting here. Because those mode-specific tags are so powerful, the reasoning to go to plug-and-play characters, it would be few and far between. I guess the exception here would be Cosmic Mephisto could come in over Surfer. Like, that's super obvious. Skrull can come in over Ultimus if you wanted. Like, it would be very clear as to who you should use. And then my concern is this is a second raid mode put into the game. Right? Because what we saw on the Astral gameplay is this is just raid with more steps. Waves defeated. So there's 6 waves instead of a certain amount of characters, right? There's an extra minute. They manipulate the time so it makes more sense. So it starts to feel just like raid with more teams being required, basically. It being way more prescriptive. But then maybe the difficulty scaling is more fun. I did feel difficulty 5 looked like it was hitting a lot harder than difficulty 4. Gives me a little bit of hope, but then I saw the Hive Mind 200% damage plus raid buffs is just absurd. You see the raid team, you see the Hive Mind in stage 3 right now, right? Kind of crazy. Okay, but after we did the zone missions, I think this is important. We're going to make a video based on just this sheet alone, going over the kind of characters, but at the same time, without knowing the spec ops, as far as planning goes, this kind of becomes a moot point, right? Because if I need 6 people to give their carnage away, then I need to find a different city team for this to work. I mean, we probably still use Hive Mind. We just don't use Carnage. We find a way to not have to deal or rely on that speed bar stuff. That's the kind of in-depth stuff we'd have to work on, I guess. But anyway, after that, we started looking at leaderboard plus rewards. Actually, we're right there. So I'm just going to let Pathfinder take it away here.
Talk with your alliance, get it, based on what difficulty you want to do. Yeah, 200% damage on Hive Mind. We could go in there and take a look for sure.
He just brought up 200 damage from Hive Mind.
We could look at a few other things. Why don't we could take a break from just looking at some of the things here. We can look at the leaderboard here. You can see it's a standard leaderboard like you would.
So this is, see how it's not bi-weekly, right? It's not every 2 weeks. It's 16 days. Battle World, to my understanding, is going to be 3 weeks, or is it 4 weeks leaderboard? It might be 4 weeks leaderboard. So it's not happening at the same time as like war and raids. Well, by definition, it's going to happen at the same time as one of them. But it gives more time for alliances to kind of push further. I do think there's going to be a much bigger variance in this leaderboard than any of the other modes. And I'm excited to see if there's a standout alliance, because everyone's doing the same amount of Battle World. Because it's putting yourself against a PvE threat, but Knull will die and then revive, and you just keep fighting Knull. I'll be curious to see which alliances can kill Knull the most or put the most damage into him. Anyway, let me let Path take over.
See in any other game mode. And you also have the rankings here as well, right? So you can see here for the season, this is what you can expect to be getting, as you can see there.
So season 1 is going to be Emma Frost Diamonds. Not sure how much that's going to be leaned into by players. What I thought was more interesting was this purple ISO right here. So the rank 1 alliance is going to be getting 830,000 for a season of Battle World. You're getting 2 characters worth. This is going to be a lot of basic orbs, which I think is cool. I don't know if he scrolls lower. I wish I would have seen what like top 1% alliances get. He didn't. We also lower.
Have rewards as far as weekly siege.
So weekly siege. So this is going to be your Battle World lasts a week, right? So if you score 10 million points throughout the 6 days, this is what you're going to get. So 44,000 of the tokens for the Battle World store, which there's some pretty good rewards. We'll go look at that in a second. 4 targeted purple ISO crystal orbs. Not great. That's not great.
Rewards for victory points, I believe. You can see here for this specific difficulty what you're going to be getting based on how many victory points your alliance gets. So you can see here, if you go all the way down, if you only get...
Okay. This seems like you'd have to be trying very little based on the scores I've seen to be scoring here. But I need to see the actual, like, in-game numbers they chose to go with before we really start, looking at the worthiness of this mode.
It in between, I think that's
as far as
200,000 or 2 million. I think it's 2 million to 7.9 million. That's what you're getting.
Path.
You can kind of keep going through. This will be a part of what you talk about with your alliance, making sure that you're doing the proper difficulty for what you can do. Should we also show them the store? I think we should show them the store, right?
Yeah, they were asking specifically, and we've made them wait a while. So
this is the store. He's gonna refresh it quite a bit, but then we get told there's to start the store 3 Annihilators plus Hank Pym. That's all that's in there right now as far as character shards go. 15,000 is the cost. You saw if you score 10 million points, you're going to be getting 44,000, just shy of 3 buys. I think there's going to be other sources of the store currency for daily rewards, but I can't speak to that too much. He also shows us here, this is where we can target farm. So yeah, he showed us Gladiator there. This is where we can target farm the purple crystals that we want to target. 8,000 for 2. Like, this is a really steep cost. Mind you, purple 3, level 3 is the highest you can go right now, which only costs 9 crystals. I'm curious to see how this speeds up people for Odin and if they're going to slow down heavily on the purple leaderboards that are currently in game to try and entice people. But that was it for rewards, basically. Let me just scroll forward, make sure I didn't miss anything too crazy. He goes back to this, just talk about that for a little bit. He ends the day, and then we start seeing this sort of stuff. Okay. Difficulty 5, 10 null. This is just for his daily reward, mind you. So we're on day 6 right now. If we kill null, we're going to get 10 shards if we're on difficulty 5. We're also going to get a bonus 63,000 purple ISOs and 11,000 sort of currency. Basically, it's going to top us up, make sure we can buy that 3rd character shard every time, or 3rd character buy every time. He did clarify 10 shards for difficulty 5 and less for lower difficulties. We didn't get exact numbers. I assume it just drops by 2 every time. So difficulty 4, which playtest would suggest not very hard to do, was going to give you maybe 8. Difficulty 3, 6, 4, 2, and the normal difficulty probably gives you 1, would be my understanding, okay? So that's no unlock. It's going to take a long time, especially because, unfortunately, it seems like we might have to wait a little bit. So we're going to go to the null footage. I think we'll pop off of the null footage because, like I was saying, in my playtest experience, null was so fun. But this is a little bit discouraging. So this is difficulty stuff. Week 1, everybody has to do normal difficulty. The initial playtest we did for this was gear tier 14 characters. This is going to be straight autoplay content for everybody. There's no sim button. You will have to go in there. You're going to have to hit fight on every single node in every single zone. It's going to be annoying. It's not going to be fun. It's going to put a sour taste in everybody's mouth. Week 2, we're going to be able to jump all the way up to difficulty 3. Once again, difficulty 4 was very easy, so I kind of think like everybody's going to jump to difficulty 3, but it's going to be still autoplay sim unless they greatly change how these difficulties kind of scale. Week 3 is going to be difficulty 4. This again, like gear tier 18, pretty much simmed this on most of the nodes. I didn't see like the Hive Mind raid stuff, so if that's new, it's going to be even faster. Week 5, difficulty 5 opens up. What I'm not sure here is if we beat difficulty 4 in week 3, does it not open difficulty 5 for us? This was a little unsure about. Didn't really get to ask any questions because it's a question to the whole Twitch chat that they are showing, right? Yeah, there is that. Okay, before we get to the null fight, the last piece of business that came up was this stuff right at 1 hour and 16 minutes. And 40 seconds. Okay, so I'll let them take off for this. It's like a reaction video. I haven't let them talk at all.
Final thing, and I'm going to show it up on the screen here. So as we mentioned, November 4th is going to be the first battle world. However, on November 3rd, you are going to see it in preview mode, and there is not going to be a season leaderboard for the first week. I'll let you take the second line here, Strike Fox.
Alrighty, we got November 10th. First strike season begins and runs for 3 weeks.
After First Strike runs for 3 weeks, we will have the first official season of Battle World starting on December 1st, and that's going to run for 4 weeks, and then subsequently every 4 weeks from that point forward. So get ready, Commanders. We're gonna have a lot of fun. It's coming.
Battle
that's right.
World.
Okay, so there you go. I was incorrect. The first Battle World is a standalone Battle World, no season awards. The first strike is going to run for 3 weeks, and then after that, the leaderboards run for 4 weeks. Good for that clarity. Okay, now the fun stuff. Let's go check out the Knull boss fight. I was really hoping to do this with you guys, but couldn't get that. Oh, yeah, here's a really cool thing, actually. New search bar. I forgot about this. Yeah, so there's a new search bar where we can now click on that. I'm sure it'll drop a box like it does in game. We type out the trait we're looking for, hit enter, and away we go. Otherwise, it looks like we can sort by these drop-down boxes. So that's going to be great, too. This is just going to be a just overall improvement. I hope this is for all modes. He said it was a new feature, so.
New feature coming your way very well in there. So we can do that. You will see here, there is going to be a bit of a new feature coming your way very soon. We've talked about this some, but you can get a sneak peek here on this stream.
There you go.
Also, speaking of envoys, I know we have a couple in chat, and I know that we also have a couple watching. So just wanted to say hello and thank you. Appreciate you joining. Appreciate you watching.
So Astral is like this Battle World's themed team, right? Because if we go back to the mission requirements, you'll see 38. You'll see Astral is featured on every single day, along with Pegasus, and then what they do on the boss node is nothing short of a miracle. Let me get back to wherever that was. Right here. He does it at some point. Sorry. We'll find it.
I'm going to play the Knull music. For some reason, I can't get it to work here, but it should work in game. Let's go ahead and play some of this Knull music, though.
We want to give you the full experience, because, yeah, playing Knull boss battle with no boss music is a little weak sauce, so enjoy. And once again, for everybody who was not at our previous stream, this immaculate.
So I've really enjoyed this. So we see Knull just did his special, then it's going to gray out. We see this boss meter, if I just want to explain this for a second. This is his speed meter, this is his barrier, and this is his life. So this is like, normally I'm always keeping my eye on this blue bar, right? This blue bar is going to be super important. You're going to see it for Knull. It fills in so fast. If you have not watched the video where we break down his kit, you should definitely go check it out. His kit is crazy.
Immaculate boss battle theme for Knull was done by Tommy Meehan.
And look, Moondragon right now, that's a rewind ability, right?
Does
not rewind.
Guar. I know a couple people were asking about what's with the metal music that we had in the intro, so just wanted to give an answer. Personally, I play this.
So you see, the ultimate is now closing in, and the special is building up, so I really like that we can keep track of all this. My understanding is it's a continuous battle. So, like, if he were to die right now and he comes back in, the ultimate will be where it is now, the special will be where it is now, so he'll just have to deal with basics for a little bit. That's my understanding.
Sometimes during workouts, it just goes hard. Can you release an acoustic version of this music? How would that sound?
Yeah, I don't know how that would sound.
Watch this boss.
It should play the whole time while you're playing Node.
Yes.
And you will also have a different version if you win and a different version if you lose too. So keep that in mind.
Yes. Guar is always needed for boss fights. Mike Chrome, I 110% agree.
All right, we're going to speed this up a bit. Not that the null fight is boring, but just it's watching somebody else play it. It's not really the same because we're not really employing strategy, right? We're just using the astral team, the themed team, and we're going to town. We're kind of just using abilities as they go. I myself am not familiar enough with the astral team to be any sort of judge on how it's going. And it looks like Path is he's just not using like the revives and stuff like that from Strange. Otherwise, he's using whatever alt is available, followed by special. But look at the damage the astral team is doing, and then look how much damage we start taking, right? So when we were watching this on stream, the astral team seemed like invincible. They seemed like they were taking no damage, and he was going to solo the entire battle bar with the team. First of all, he wouldn't because he would time out. But Knull also starts peppering in this max health damage that will take you out. Furthermore, he starts stacking up this rage buff. He sees that 12 rage. So he'll get rage whenever a hive mind character takes a turn, or you kill a hive mind, symbiote character takes a turn, or you kill a symbiote character. That rage makes him hit harder, makes that max life tax a lot more. So there's going to be this interesting dynamic here where it's maybe we try and control the hive mind characters so he doesn't get the rage, right? The thing about Knull is he gets 20% speed bar whenever you hit him. So it doesn't matter if it's slow on him. When you hit him 5 times, he's taking a turn. So can we turn meter rewind control the hive mind / symbiote characters to the point where we don't have to kill them, but they don't take turns? Knull doesn't get rage. That's one idea. Or by doing that, does Knull push people, activate Carnage passives, and you just die? So there is only one strategy, which is kill everything as fast as it comes out and go from there. Hopefully it's not the case. I hope there's some actual strategy here. The Astral team looked like it was pretty mindless. Like, Moondragon absolutely just one-shots everybody. This seemed like if you put this on Sim, it wouldn't have been much different. That's not true for the other teams. That is true for the Astral team. And look at the amount... I cannot overstate how good this is right now. This is the highest difficulty. There's no diamonds on these guys, though they are crackened out. But he's taking up at least... he's taking up 9% of the boss's life. This is crazy. So 24 people in his alliance. They would have killed the boss twice. That's insane, right? So if 24 people had that, they would kill Knull twice on the highest difficulty already. And that's only utilizing one attack. That's absurd. Well, I guess he's not going to do that. Oh, he did get the extra 1% in. Okay. So how much damage does he end up doing here? I want to see, because it's going to help us kind of judge how well his other attacks were. So this was 115. I already know what one of the other attacks were. I'm happy to see Astral is not the best Knull fighting team. Very happy to see that. So he goes in here with some other teams. He takes some suggestions for the chat, as is Pathfinder's way. We hit it with Illuminati Odin. I wonder who made that suggestion. It doesn't go nearly as good as the other ones did, right? Told him to keep out Captain Britain because this would be like a really strong free-to-play option players could have now that Hank is going to be farmable. Shuri's got to be somewhere. If she's not in this store, she'll probably be even more obtainable. But we really wanted to see how good Odin was going to do here. So he got 3% off. He ended up only getting 3% off. So Astral dumpstered an Illuminati team, right? So this was important to see. We want to see what kind of teams are going to do well, what kind of teams are not going to do that great. And after that, what did he hit his last team with? His last attack was the Annihilators. The Annihilators plus Mephisto. So he's going to do the Mephisto basic attack here. Watch how much damage it does. Because Mephisto's basic would state hits for 50% max health. It definitely doesn't do it for Knull, right? There's a 4 million damage cap on what you can do to Knull in any given turn. So he's going to go ahead and hit it here any second now. There we go. And we watched 4 minutes. You saw it was exactly 4 million damage. It was pretty good. Not mad at that. So that's Mephisto's opening attack. Very, very powerful. Let's see how this it wasn't Annihilators. It was Night Stalkers. Night Stalkers did infinitely better. So between the 3 attacks, he took off 20% life. That's actually kind of crazy when you think about it. Because if he had 24 other people do just as good as him, they're killing the boss 4 times. This is what I mean. Like, I'm excited for the boss battle because This is going to be the first PvE mode that isn't dictated by the amount of keys you have. It's not dictated by, you know, RNG clearing one. There's a little bit of RNG if people crash and stuff like that. But there's no RNG on, like, what used to be Sword Satellite at the very top, like, did Skrull target so-and-so instead of so-and-so. Stuff like that, right? So that gives me some hope. He then went in with some other teams after that. He resets it because you only get 3 attacks. His next attack was going to be the Undying team, which I thought was interesting. And I forget who he threw in. He threw in Old Man Logan. So let's see how good this one does. So 99%. The thing about it is, he's going to hit his own allies, and his allies would hit him, right? Does Old Man Logan do any kind of damage here? I think, you know what? I think the bleeds we're probably going to see him drop, what, 2% right away, right? There's so many bleeds on him. He took a turn. He took no damage. Okay, hold on. Wait a minute. Juggernaut, he's got 2 charges. How hard is he going to hit for? Not very hard. Uh-oh. That's not great. 2% total, 3%, 4%. By the way, if you want to know where I'm looking at this percentile damage right here. Sorry, I should have brought that up. This team, okay, he took a lot of bleed damage there. He went from 96 to 94. Not a bad hit, 6% there. So we're getting some ideas of teams that would be awesome to use here. We have Mythic Soup with the Shadow King. Went from 94%. This attack did the most for him. So let's see. Mephisto plus Odin on the same hit may not be a bad idea. And then like a full Astral team, followed by something else. So the full Astral did like 114 or something like that. This Mythic Soup did 129. Did have Shadow King on it, so maybe Shadow King, we got to replace another heavy hitter. Maybe that's the Old Man Logan spot or whoever, right? But I thought that was pretty interesting. Let's keep going. Does he do a 6th attack? He may not do a 6th attack. He doesn't do a 6th attack. All right, so that's kind of it, guys. This video of me yapping actually went for 40 minutes. Didn't expect that. I'll put some timestamps on it for you. But we learned so much here, right? From the details behind Spec Ops, kind of what to expect from the gameplay, which still is a little bit irksome, but we can have some fun planning our strategies on who to build, I guess. Astro gameplay was crazy to see. Did not expect that. Leaderboard rewards. For me, the rewards left a lot to be desired here. 10 null shards a week for the highest difficulty feels whack. I would kind of had preferred to see like 20 shards a week for the highest difficulty and 5 for the lowest, 10 for the middle kind of thing. Like, what is the lowest difficulty to get? 1 shard? So 180 weeks to get the unlock if people just chill there, which they won't. But that, it feels weird, right? We saw difficulty stuff. Yeah, we saw a lot here. So I'll be super interested to know how you guys felt after this live stream, if you watched it, or after watching this kind of recap, how you felt about it. Let me know in the comment sections below. For now, though, you guys, stay happy, stay healthy, have fun. Have yourselves a beautiful night. And tomorrow, I'm going to be getting hard at work, trying to work with this real quick. Yeah, we're definitely going to work with this real quick. We'll talk about characters that we could sub out of these bonus teams that probably wouldn't destroy the team. Anyway, guys, have yourself a wonderful night. We'll talk soon. Bye. That's it for the video, guys. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, make sure you like, share, and subscribe. Stay happy, healthy, have fun, and I'll see you in the next one.